Over 30 years ago, Rotary made a promise to the world, a promise that we would eradicate polio. With the help of our partners and friends, we've made incredible progress toward that goal.
So today we find ourselves on the brink of completely eradicating polio from the face of the earth. When, not if, we get there, it will be only the second time in history that a disease affecting humans has been eradicated.
The Gates Foundation believes that every child deserves a chance to live a healthy, productive life. That's why we're so excited about the partnership we have with Rotary International and the Global Polio Eradication Initiative in the final push to rid the world of polio.
The work of the Global Polio Eradication Initiative redefines what is possible. It shows what we can achieve when countries cooperate around a clear goal.
Africa, a rising continent, 1.2 billion strong. It can only be healthy with united action against preventable diseases like polio. It's important to immunize kids, not just in my own country, Nigeria, but all over the world.
Polio has been reduced by 99%, but Afghanistan is still suffering from it. Our objective is to attain the certification for a polio-free Afghanistan in 2017.
We need to be able to finish this important public health effort that so many have contributed to, and we really need your support for the end game.
We're proud to be part of this global effort to end polio forever, and we'll see it through to the end.
So please stay committed or become committed to add momentum to the final stretches.
The lives that have been changed and enhanced by the work that Rotary has done cannot be underestimated or underappreciated.
Every nation will benefit from a world without polio, and there are millions of children walking today who would otherwise be paralyzed. This is why I give my full support to this historic work.
I'm honored to join you as we walk this last mile toward our goal of a polio-free world.
Together, I'm confident we'll achieve a polio-free world. Let's drop to zero.
Let's drop to zero.
Let's drop to zero.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Distinguished dignitaries, fellow Rotarians and Rotaractors and guests. We would like to welcome all of you to the Zone 10A Virtual Polio Summit for the year 2021. Every year, we celebrate World Polio Day, and today's event is part of the month-long celebration of the Rotary International's #1 international flagship project, which is to end polio. It gives me pleasure to call the Zone 10A Philippines 2021 Polio Summit to order. I will be your program host. And to start, let me call on our assistant RRFC, Gina Sanchez, for the invocation. And this will be followed immediately by the national anthems of Australia, United States, and the Philippines.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. We thank you, Lord, for bringing us together today, for keeping us safe, that we may extend the fruits of our grace for the blessing of others who are in need. We appreciate how blessed we truly are, with more than simply the necessities of life, with family, and with friendship. As we enjoy the support within the family of Rotary, help us to reach out to those within our communities and across the globe. As we appreciate our help, give us the means through our work with the Rotary Foundation to help cure the ills of the world. And may we see the day when polio will be eliminated from the face of the earth. As our faith and love for others is tested, we will trust in you, Lord, to empower us to continue to do good things and show comfort and hope for others. And as we consider your teachings, inspire us to serve you so that there may truly be peace and understanding throughout the world. Help us to work together within Rotary so that we may do what you want us to do. For your greater glory, amen.
We've golden soil and wealth for toil.
Thank you very much, Assistant RRFC Gina Sanchez, for that very beautiful invocation and prayer. And now to officially and formally welcome all of us, let me call on from the host district, from the Rotary Club of New Manila East, District 3780. Let's all give a warm welcome to life-changing Governor Ed Ayento for the welcome remarks.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, fellow Rotarians and Rotary leaders. The eradication of polio is one of the longest standing and most significant efforts of Rotary. Along with our partners, we have helped immunize more than 2.5 billion children against polio in 122 countries. We have reduced polio cases by 99.9% worldwide, and that is an unbelievable achievement. That's exactly the reason why we are holding this very important virtual event for today. Because now is the time to double down and really make sure that we stop the transmission and accelerate our efforts so we can have a polio-free world. Fellow Rotarians and Rotary leaders, it's not every day that we're given a chance to invite and gather at the same time. Four of the most sought-after speakers in the Rotary world. Really towering speakers to further ignite our enthusiasm to fight this dreaded disease. We are indeed very fortunate to have them with us today. Fellow Rotarians and Rotary leaders, please sit back, relax, and find your most comfortable seats as we start this historic event. It is my privilege and distinct honor to welcome you all to this Polio Summit 2021 for Rotary Zone 10A. Thank you so much and mabuhay!
Thank you, life-changing Governor Ed Ayento, for the welcome remarks. And now to formally and officially acknowledge our dignitaries, guests, Rotarians, and Rotaractors. Let's welcome from the Rotary Club of Cebu Fuente, District 3860, Assistant RRFC Joseph Michael Espina.
Thank you, RRFC June. And depending on where you come from in our Rotary world, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to all our Rotary dignitaries, fellow Rotarians, Rotaractors, and guests. Today, we are deeply honored for the presence of the following dignitaries and guests. First, we have our TRF Trustee Chair and past RI President, John Germ. Then we have RI Director, Jesse Harman. Past RI Vice President, Michael McGovern. Past RI Director Guilherme Robert Hall. Past RI Director Guilherme Tumangan. Past RI Director Rafi Garcia. Our Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator June Farcon. The Endowment and Major Gifts Advisor Jess Nickdow. The End Polio Now Coordinator Mean Solomon. Our Rotary Coordinator Onye Reyes. Rotary Public Image Coordinator Ray Castillo. RI Empowering Girls Ambassador Lina Aurelio. The Philippine College of Rotary Governors Chair Nelson Aspe. The Philippine Rotary Magazine Foundation Chair Ed Limon. The Philippine Rotary Magazine Editor-in-Chief Sani Coloma. Our friends from the RI South Pacific and Philippines Office, with the International Office and Financial Services Manager, Grace Ramirez. KRF Senior Coordinator, Mark Anderson. Fund Development Specialist, Gretchen Laurel. Club and District Support Manager, Mary Jane Desmond. And the Finance Coordinator, Rosalind Ong. My fellow Assistant Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinators, please acknowledge. And the life-changing district governors, and may I call them by name, from District 3770, Governor Art Ke. From District 3780, Governor Ed Ayento. District 3790, Governor Willie Serafica. From District 3800, Governor Augie Soliman. From District 3810, Governor Robert Coa. From District 3820, Governor Angie Sunyo. From District 3830, Governor Joji Tan. From District 3850, Governor Edwin To. From District 3860, Governor Ana Bumaga. And from District 3870, Governor John Mark Saraga. Kindly also welcome for all our transforming governors, our immediate past governors, whom I will no longer call by one in the interest of time. To be acknowledged, however, kindly click the thumbs up sign at the reaction box. Okay, please. Thank you. Please also welcome all our district governors-elect. Can we have your thumbs up sign? Okay, thank you. And we welcome all our district governors nominee. Thumbs up sign, please. Okay, thank you. Now let us welcome all our district Rotary Foundation coordinators. We have them from all the 10 districts. Please also welcome all our district polio coordinators from the 10 districts. And at this point, can we request Past President Nico for a gallery view for the rest of the life-changing district officers, club presidents and Rotarians of the 10 districts. I will call you by district, and kindly go to the reaction box and click the thumbs up icon as I announce your district. So, for the life-changing Rotarians and Rotaractors from District 3770. Life-changing Rotarians and Rotaractors from District 3780. Life-changing Rotarians and Rotaractors from District 3790.
Ato sa gawas.
The life-changing Rotarians and Rotaractors from District 3800. Life-changing Rotarians and Rotaractors from District 3810. Life-changing Rotarians and Rotaractors from District 3820. Life-changing Rotarians and Rotaractors from District 3830. Life-changing Rotarians and Rotaractors from District 3850. Life-changing Rotarians and Rotaractors from District 3860. And the life-changing Rotarians and Rotaractors from District 3870. Finally, we would also like to acknowledge our Rotarians and Rotaractors from Malaysia and Singapore. Please acknowledge. Let us all give ourselves a warm welcome, everybody. Thank you very much and enjoy.
Thank you very much, Assistant RRFC Yumi Espina, for that very efficient, systematic handling of a very difficult task of acknowledging dignitaries, Rotarians, and Rotaractors from different places. You know, even though we're in this kind of technology, we can still really express by simply just clicking on a button to express that you are present. And Assistant RRFC Yumi just did that. Okay, so special shout out. I just received a text. We have visitors from Singapore and Malaysia, District 3300 and 3310. Okay, so now we will listen to the message of our Rotary International President, Shekhar Mehta, on Rotary's international flagship project, End Polio.
Hello, my dear fellow Rotarians. As we mark World Polio Day 2021, we can look back at this journey with great satisfaction. We have eradicated the wild polio virus from every continent except one. We have succeeded in ending polio in the most populous nations in the world, including my home country of India. We've raised awareness and created a global infrastructure through our partners and have vaccinated the world and left behind public health resources that will be vital for fighting infectious diseases for generations to come. We've noted how close we are. We have talked about entering the last mile, but now it is time to bring this historic project to a dramatic conclusion. With just 2 countries left in the world, we have never been more close to eradicate polio. We have it within our grasp to identify and reach those still at risk of being infected with this terrible virus and protecting their childhood and their lives. This is our moment, our turning point. If we give up now, we could see polio return all across the world. If these past 2 years have taught us anything, it is that viruses will continue to evolve and adapt if we allowed these to fester on their own. We have the power and the ability to bring the number of polio cases to 0. Rotary will enter the history books for this accomplishment, and you will prove forever that through Rotary we serve to change lives. So please donate your money, donate your time, and do not stop sharing this important story with everyone you know. We will end polio forever. We will do it to honor the lives of the polio workers who have given up their lives in the line of duty as polio vaccinators. We will do it for the future of all the children of this world, and we will do it now. Thank you.
Okay, there you have it. We just received our marching order from Rotary International President Shakar Mehta. We can do it. Let's all work. Drop to zero. Zero polio cases. And now we will listen to our first speaker. And last year, he was the awardee of Zone 10A, Philippines, as an individual Rotarian who contributed, we call him the End Polio Champion. He contributed $100,000 last year. And to talk about why he continues to give to polio, let us all welcome from the Rotary Club of Cubao, District 3780, our transforming governor and End Polio Champion and awardee, this past District Governor, Johnny Gao Yu.
Thank you, Gov. June. To all distinguished guests and Polio Summit organizers, past, present, and future leaders of Rotary, fellow Rotarians, again, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. It is both a privilege and an honor to be part of the annual Polio Summit this 2021, where most or all the end polio advocates gather and bring us closer to eradicating polio around the world. For the past 24 years as a Rotarian, I have valued the friendship and experiences I have made through Rotary and opportunities that Rotary has given me to spend my time with a purpose and to get so much back through friendship, fellowship, and implementation of our programs and other activities through the help of the Rotary Foundation. Most of the great foundations around the world have been created by powerful and rich families, but the Rotary Foundation has been created by the giving and the goodwill of thousands of Rotarians who believe in the advocacies of Rotary International. Therefore, we are proud to call it our foundation. And we should be proud of our foundation, for each day, millions of people around the world are touched by the magic of Rotary. This is only made possible by the service and dedication of Rotarians throughout the world, just like yourselves, who have seen the need and responded by supporting our charity, especially the Polio Plus program. Me and my family have been privileged to witness many acts of services carried out by Rotarians around the world through the Rotary Foundation. My wife, past President Veronica Yu, participated in the End Polio program in India by District 3110 last 2016, and so the need to really eradicate polio in this world. Here in the Philippines, we visited an indigenous village where a water station had been installed by my club, the Rotary Club of Cubao, Quezon City, together with our sister club, the Rotary Club of Seongnam East, South Korea, Rotary International District 3600. And we saw how this has improved life in the village beyond all recognition. The villagers now have clean water, preventing disease and preventing polio. The children and women don't have to go to the town each day to get clean and potable water. Last year, I have contributed $100,000 to the Polio Plus program, and an overall contribution of another $250,000 to the foundation as an Arts Club Society Chair Circle. We are excited seeing major breakthrough in the improvement of human lives through Rotary and the eradication of polio. I am proud to say that I have done good deeds in the world. I don't need accolades, position, titles, or awards to be recognized as a contributor of the Rotary Foundation. All I want is to see a better world to live in, because I believe. I give because I believe. I believe in hope. I believe in love. I believe in blessings. I believe in answered prayers. I believe in the Rotary's magic. I believe in the foundation I believe that we can eradicate polio, and I believe in God. The Rotary Foundation transforms our gifts into projects that really change lives. As the charitable arm of Rotary, we tap into a global network of Rotarians who invest their time, money, and expertise into our priorities, such as eradicating polio and promoting peace. Foundation global grants empower Rotarians to approach challenges such as poverty, illiteracy, and malnutrition with sustainable solutions that leave a lasting impact. And that is the magic of Rotary. So my fellow Rotarians, let our hearts be large enough to support the programs of our Rotary Foundation. Let our hands be busy enough to carry out these programs, and let our minds be wise enough to support those programs with our giving. Whether Rotary will thrive or whether it will falter, whether our service will mean so much to many or little to few, whether Rotary is known with respect or seen as a relic of days gone by, all is up to us. If we truly intend to help others, if we truly wish to do justice to those who have come before us, if we truly intend to achieve everything of which we are capable, we will rely every day on the strength of our foundation. And the strength of the foundation is always in our hands. Believe in the magic of the Rotary Foundation. So today, to all those who are waiting for my pledge, I will not make any pledges to the End Polio program, as I have already made my initial payment of $30,000 last Friday to our Polio Plus program. And this is my deposit slip. So before I end my message, I would like to leave you a quote from Jonas Salk, the inventor of vaccine against polio. He said, and I quote, "Hope lies in dreams, in imagination, and in the courage of those who dare to make dreams into reality." End of quote. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak before you. Stay safe, be healthy, have a nice polio-free day, and let's drop to zero. Thank you.
Thank you very much, AKS Chair Circle Transforming Governor Johnny Yu, for your inspiring words and very beautiful message. And thank you for your support to end polio, or the Polio Plus program of the Rotary Foundation. And now let's move on and let's hear from another speaker. She is our supervising Rotary International Director assigned to Zone 10A Philippines. And she is the first, I understand, RI Director, female RI Director from Zone 8, Australia and New Zealand. She's a past Rotary Coordinator and currently the chair of RI Board Membership Committee. She served as District Governor together with my classmates, their classmates, Rotary year 2010-11. And she's an educator, a major donor, and a Bequest Society member of the Rotary Foundation. From the Rotary Club of Wenduri Breakfast, District 9780. Friends, let's all welcome. Let's give a warm welcome to Rotary International Director Jessie Harman.
Thank you, John. It is just wonderful to be with you this evening. I'd like to acknowledge all of the dignitaries, the Rotarians and Rotaractors and guests in the room. It's a special occasion and I'm delighted to be with you. I'm going to continue in the spirit of past District Governor Johnny, and what a wonderful pledge that was, Johnny. Thank you so much. But I want to start with a quote as well, and I want to start with one of my favourite quotes. And it goes like this: when courage, genius, and generosity hold hands, all is possible. You know, that quote sums up for me our polio eradication campaign. You know, it speaks to the courage of Rotarians that had the dream to end polio. It speaks to the generosity of our donors that will support us to the very end. And most importantly, it speaks to the genius, the innovativeness of Rotarians as they continue to find new and different ways to raise funds to support our polio eradication efforts. You know, this year as a director, more than any other year, I have been inspired by the many and varied ways that Rotarians and Rotaractors are raising funds to end polio. Indeed, I have decided that Rotarians and Rotaractors can turn absolutely anything into funds for polio. I have been incredibly impressed by the way that Rotarians have turned exercise into funds. I have seen Rotarians walking, riding bikes, sailing sailboats, having dance contests, fun runs, skipping, even Zumba for polio. I've seen Rotarians turning transport into funds, riding trains all over the countryside, or driving four-wheel drives to raise money for polio. Food, Rotarians can definitely turn food into funds for polio. I've seen sausages being sizzled, I've been to bake sales, I've seen cooking classes, even special dinners raising funds for polio. And games, well, games are even easier. I've seen trivia nights, I've seen quiz nights, I've seen golf competitions. You like music? Rotarians can turn it into a concert, raising funds for polio. And we love a viewing event. Rotarians can turn films, television programs, seminars, and polio updates into funds for polio. And coming out of lockdown, Australians can even turn shaved heads and haircuts into funds for polio. I am absolutely inspired by the things that Rotarians and Rotaractors can do to raise funds for polio. They can also sell merchandise. You know, anything from fine art to koalas to T-shirts to pins, through online auctions, raffles, a whole range of different ways. It's completely inspiring. But as I finish, I want to share another quote that I think is really important. And it goes, we need to value our donors as much as we need value from our donors. So as we move into the second half and the end of this busy fundraising period, I want you all to think about how we are going to recognise and thank our donors in appropriate ways. Because even though we are so close, we are not there yet. And we are going to need to continue to ask our donors for support. So thank you, every single one of you. Thank you for your courage to dream big, for your generosity to support our polio cause, and for your genius, your innovativeness to find ways to raise funds to the end. So with your courage, with your genius, and with your generosity, we can absolutely drop to zero. Thank
Thank you very much, Rotary International Director Jesse Harman for the so many creative ways of raising funds for polio. I tried to count it, but I have only 10 fingers and I have to use the other fingers as well. But you have mentioned so much. Thank you for the encouraging words as well. And now let's move on and listen to our next speaker. To give us polio updates, and he will give us the latest updates. He's the chair of Rotary International Polio Plus Committee since 2014. He represents Rotary on the Polio Oversight Board, which governs the Global Polio Eradication Initiative Partnership. He is the global chair of the Rotary Leadership Institute and serves an advisor to Rotary's COVID-19 Task Force. A member of Rotary since 1985 and has occupied various positions such as Rotary Governor, RI Director, RI Vice President, TRF Trustee, TRF Vice Chair of the Trustees of the Rotary Foundation. Friends, join me in welcoming past RI Vice President, Michael Mike McGovern.
Thank you. Thank you very much, RRFC, June. Thank you, Ann Solomon, the polio coordinator, for inviting me. It's wonderful to be with Jesse Harman again, your director from Australia, with John Jerm, the chair of the Rotary Foundation, and with so many others who do so much for polio. And when I say with so many others, I look, there are 978 participants in this Zoom meeting. That is absolutely amazing. And I want to thank all of you and congratulate all of you for joining in. The first time I visited the Philippines, I'm fortunate to have been there 3 times now, was in the Rotary year 2007-2008. Wilt Wilkinson, who was the president of Rotary that year, invited me to be the president's rep to the district conference led by Rose Sellis, the district governor. It was in the Manila Hotel. It was a wonderful event. Got to meet many fine Rotarians from the Philippines and to really understand what Filipino hospitality is all about. It was a great conference, but the highlight of that visit, something I will never forget, was a couple of Rotarians took me over to Makati. And we visited where is now the office of the Makati Rotary Club, the Rotary Club of Makati. And that is the site in what was then described in 1979 as a muddy field where the very first immunizations were given by Rotarians that led to the Global Polio Eradication Initiative. Benny Santos, some of you remember that name from the Philippines. He was, in many respects, the first leader. He had responded to Rotary about possibly obtaining what was then known as a Health, Hunger, and Humanity grant. Peng Heckanover and Matt Kaparis, both of whom we lost recently, were there, and so many others. I don't think those Rotarians in 1979 probably understood how they were going to change the world. They worked with the government. They worked with Imelda Marcos. They worked with, I believe, Cardinal Sin, and they worked with others to encourage polio vaccinations. The program in Philippines was a huge success. The government was a big partner. The health minister was a member of Rotary, and that all helped. But the success there inspired Rotarians and gave us inspiration that we could do more. Jonas Salk, PDG, Johnny quoted him, let me do so as well. Dr. Jonas Salk said, the reward for work well done is the opportunity to do more. This is what happened as a result of your work in the Philippines. Rotary thought it could do more. We approached UNICEF, they were very welcoming to Rotary. We approached WHO and they thought, we don't want to work with those folks that eat lunch. That's all they know how to do is eat lunch. Well, eventually through the work of several others, we changed their minds. So what's happened since then? 350,000 cases around the world. down to just 2 this year. One of them was on January 1st in Afghanistan, and the other was later in January in Pakistan, a place called Killa Abdullah. It's those Rotarians in that muddy space in the Philippines never could have imagined that because of their vision, the inspiration they gave, we would be down to this few cases. But we're not done. We have the 2 cases of the wild polio virus. We also have some cases of something called circulating vaccine-derived polio, which is primarily in Nigeria, but it's in Tajikistan and in a few other places across Central Africa. We have a new polio vaccine that was just been developed, actually over the last 10 years, but just approved a year ago, started to be implemented in March of this year. And that new vaccine is doing away with the vaccine-derived cases. Very, very fortunately. But, I think everyone's aware that, I just mentioned that the final 2 cases are in Afghanistan and Pakistan. So let me talk a little bit more about those 2 countries. Pakistan, is an interesting country. All of you have heard about it over the years. They have great cricket teams, other things that make them known in the world. But it's a country that's had some challenges. I think we all remember Benazir Bhutto and some of the political unrest. They also, it's amongst all the countries in the world, they're last. And the reason, is they hadn't placed the emphasis, over the years that they needed to on the health of children. They hadn't placed the emphasis on the immunization of children. But it's come around, and has it come around? They got the cases a few years ago down to just a couple of handfuls of cases. There were 22 worldwide 5 years ago. But today is one. And how has that happened? Number one, the Rotarians themselves have kept the government working on it. They've constantly advocated to the government the importance of this program. They've done things in the communities, such as putting in new water resources, helping with sanitation resources. They've been ever present in helping to really let everyone know the importance of this work. We also now have government leadership that is working hand in hand with Rotary. The current Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, has had 4 or 5 meetings this year specifically on polio. He's invited all of the provincial chief ministers in to talk about it, and the results are telling. Unfortunately, I'm going to be able to go to Pakistan the end of next month, almost 2 years from when I was last in the Philippines, but I'm going to be able to see the progress that's been made, and along with the others there, hopefully, and encourage us to reach the end. Afghanistan, I think we all know, hasn't been easy. It's a government and a country that has seen a lot of political strife. It's seen a lot of changes in government, and obviously, I think we could describe it as war-torn. In mid-August, the Taliban, who had been one of the parties that we referred to as anti-government elements, they assumed responsibility for the health of the children and for all matters in Afghanistan. Well, this weekend, we received a letter, and pardon me if I read, but this is from the acting health minister of Afghanistan. And he wrote to all 34 provinces' health departments this weekend. And he said, the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan is strongly committed to provide all kinds of health services to the suffering civilians of the country, and doesn't hesitate to provide any kind of support in this regard, and is particularly paying more attention to children and mothers' health so that they are protected from all kinds of infected and non-infectious diseases. As you all know, that polio is a foremost life-threatening disease of adorable children that has to be prevented with taking strong and quality measures through administering oral polio vaccine in the form of successful SIA rounds, and ultimately reaching and vaccinating all children against the disease. He goes on, therefore, it is decided to hold nationwide polio vaccination campaign. This is door to door, all over the country, starting on 8th November. And he consequently then directs all the different health ministries at the provincial level and at the local level to participate and to make this successful. Well, that's the best letter I've seen in a while. Particularly with everyone worried about, how are the women going to be treated? Are they going to focus on polio? To me, that is a ringing endorsement of what's going on. So, that's the status of polio. We are going to end polio. We're going to do it by working together. We're going to do it by working with the governments of the world. We're going to do it by Rotarians continuing to be supportive. I've said in the past, what makes this work is inspiration, such as we had in the Philippines beginning in 1979. What makes this work is the resources that Rotarians give. What makes this work is the work of our partners. We're persistent, we're patient, and we're passionate. So let's all continue to do that. Let's all continue to be supportive of polio eradication. And for further updates and details, look occasionally at the website polioeradication.org. There is so much more information there that I can't go over in this limited time. So thank you, June. Thank you to all of the Rotarians in the Philippines. Leaders like Rafi and Gear and so many others. Meehan. I look forward to returning there again and visiting Makati again and looking at that ground and standing on that ground where Rotarians first began to stand ground against polio. Thank you very much. Good to be with you this evening.
Thank you very much, Pastor Vice President Mike McGovern, for those very important updates, very important presentation to us on polio updates. And we look forward to receive you again, Mike. You've been a very wonderful friend, and you really love the Philippines because you really love to be with us. And don't worry, we will wait for you here as soon as the situation will allow it. And now we'll now go to the next speaker. By the way, we have already reached the maximum to our Zoom capacity, but don't worry, we're being also broadcast live streaming on Facebook. So for those who cannot enter the Zoom meeting, you can just ask your governor what is the link. It is now being broadcast live. You just have to log into Facebook. Okay, so we move on, and now we will proceed to our next global speaker. And this time he will talk about the Rotary Foundation and our campaign to end polio. He joined Rotary in 1976, and since then he has served in various positions. Of course, as a Rotary Governor, RI Director, All-Star Rotary International President. He's the only one who can have that title, All-Star. TRF Trustee, and at present, he is the chair of the End Polio Now Countdown to History Campaign Committee and the trustee chair of the Rotary Foundation. From the Rotary Club of Chattanooga, Tennessee, USA, please welcome our TRF trustee chair, past RI President John Germ.
Thank you very much, Jude, and thank you for all the wonderful speakers that we have already had today. And there's not a whole lot that I can add after hearing the passion that has been exhibited here, the many ways that you can raise funds from Jesse and Mike's upgrade. But I was asked to talk a little bit about the Rotary's role in the eradication of polio. And I think Mike said it very well when he made the comment about what happened in Makati. And I can remember when James Bomar, who had that opportunity to put those two first drops in that little girl's mouth, he happened to be from my district. And when I was governor, I asked James about that because I was very much interested in how Rotary got started with the eradication of polio. And he said, you know, when he was putting those 2 drops in that little girl's mouth, that he felt a tug at his pant leg. And he said, I didn't want to look down because I was afraid that I would spill that medicine. He said, but when I got through, I looked down and there was a crawler. That little crawler had his legs, hands on my pants, and he was pulling. And he said, thank you, mister. That was my sister. And she will not be crippled as I am. What a fascinating story. What a fascinating story that the Rotarians in the Philippines have been so dedicated to the eradication of polio, and you continue that dedication today. You were very successful last year in all the 10 districts in raising funds. And as Jesse said, doing various fundraising activities in order to show your dedication. To have this event here with over 1,000 people, your dedication, your passion. And I remember when I asked Bill Gates, why did you give this money in 2007, $100 million to the Rotary Foundation with no real guarantee that we could raise that money, not asking for it to be returned back, but saying you have to spend this money by December the 31st of 2008. I said, why did you do that? We didn't have a campaign. We didn't have an organization that was geared up at that particular moment to raise this money when you gave it to us. And he said, John, it's real simple. Yes, I could have given it to WHO. I could have given it to UNICEF. I could send it some to the direct to the countries. But he says, Rotary has the passion. You had the initiative to begin this campaign. You had the dream of no child being crippled by polio. And you have boots on the ground. And it's those boots on the ground. And it's that passion that has continued through the Philippines, that has caught fire all around the world to get us, as Mike says, down to just 2 cases. What Mike didn't say was that there's 10 million children, 10 million children in Afghanistan that now is going to be able to get that vaccine. There's 40 million children in Pakistan that we have to give this vaccine to. Your efforts, not just today, but not just last year or the years past, will continue to let us reach that goal. But Rotary has 4 primary objectives. Number 1, fundraising. Johnny made that great challenge a few minutes ago. We're going to hear from all the district governors in a few minutes about their commitment. But you know, it's not just the money. It's not just the $50 million. It's not just the $100 million that if we reach 50, that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is going to give us. It's not just the $940 million that we spend approximately that on every year to reach those children. But it's those 450 children that will not be crippled because we were able to reach them, to get them the vaccine. It's those 19.5 million people that are walking right now because you cared enough to be involved with Rotary's program of eradication of polio. What a dream it is. So yes, our job is to raise $50 million. We've been successful. It's very difficult with not being able to have some of the fundraisers. I'm glad Jesse gave you a whole lot of different ideas to do that. Our second priority, and you say, well, what are we spending this money for? You say we're spending $900 something million a year. Well, we have to reach every one of those children, don't we? We have to get there. We have to get those vaccines, whether it be by horse or by donkey or by boat or camel or whatever it may be, or just walking. We've got to pay these wonderful healthcare workers. You know, we give money, but some of them have given their lives. Some of them have given their lives to carry out what Rhoda's mission is, because they are passionate about not having any of their children or grandchildren having the case of polio also. So we have to do surveillance. We have to be able to see those sewage samples and test to be sure that we no longer have this wild polio virus. We've got Rotarians in Afghanistan and Pakistan are working very hard with our partners to be sure that that happens. One of our big objectives is to do advocacy. Advocacy with all the different governments of the world. We are very thankful for what has been happening in the Philippines with the government there, Australia, Canada, United States, United Kingdom, all over the world. It's Rotarians that are passionately reaching out to the governments, the United States government. We have a supplemental application going in now to hopefully get more money out of the United States government. But it takes advocacy, it takes Rotarians that know the story to be able to tell that story and to say why it is important that we reach every child. Raising awareness. Another one, our third priority. We take in about 100,000 plus Rotarians a year. We lose about 100,000 Rotarians a year. Now, Jesse's going to stop that outflow. It's not hard to recruit them, it's just hard to keep them. But just think, how many people out there that do not know about polio? How many times have I heard, we don't have polio in our country. Why are we raising money for polio? We've got to tell our story. We're blessed in many countries of the world, all but two now, that we don't have polio. Can we quit? No, we can't quit. We've got to get it out of those two countries also. We owe it to the children of the world. So we have to partner with government. We have to continue our strong relationships. We have to say, we will finish this job. We've got to engage our Rotarians. It's not just the 1,000 that's on here now. It's not those that are on live stream. How many Rotarians are there in the Philippines? How many of them are engaged in polio eradication? How many of them are engaged in getting clean water, getting proper sanitation? It takes all of us. So let's don't be selfish and keep this story to ourselves. Let's go out there and tell every Rotarian they have a responsibility to the children of the world to eradicate this world of polio. Well, we've got World Polio Day and you're kicking it off. This is a fantastic event. Extremely well organized, Leanne. You've done a wonderful job. Keep it that way. We've got World Immunization Week where we can help tell our story to the rest of the world. It's up to us. You know, many people have heard of Pogo that was in the comic sections of newspapers around the world for many years. Pogo was an alligator, or an animal of such, looked in the mirror one day and said, "We have met the enemy, and it is us." Whose fault is it that we're not telling our story? It's ours. So let's reach out. Let's tell our story. Let's finish the job that was started in 1979 with just 2 drops. And just think of the number of drops, but think more importantly of the number of the children. Let me close with a quote from Sir Winston Churchill. He said, "The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty." Let us use our optimism. Let's use our passion, our desire. Let's use our commitment to the children of the world that we will, in fact, eradicate polio. Thank you for this opportunity to be with you once again in the Philippines, where it started and where we're going to finish our job. Thank you.
Thank you, Past RI President John, for those inspiring words. Thank you for reminding us that started in the Philippines and we will be one in the world in making sure that we will finish this. And that will be our mission. By the way, if you have a chance to go to the chat box, there are so many beautiful messages being typed in the chat box. Okay, we'll now proceed to our last global speaker. And this time, he will talk about the impact of our polio donation. He has been a member of Rotary since 1986 and has occupied various positions, of course, Rotary Governor, RI Director, Chair of the Atlanta International Convention Host Organizing Committee, and currently the Vice Chair of the End Polio Now Countdown to History Campaign Committee from the Rotary Club of Dan Woody, District 6900, USA. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome past RI Director Robert Hall.
Well, thank you very much, PDG and RFC June. I get to follow all the heavy hitters. I got to follow Director Jesse and past RI Vice President Mike and my boss, Trustee Chair and head of the End Polio Now Countdown to History Committee, John. So I'm really humbled to be here today. I can't believe it. But Meehan and June and asked me to be involved, and I want to thank them for all they do over there. And Ernesto also. We have 40-something polio coordinators around the world that I have the opportunity to work with, and they're just terrific. But I want to say this before I really start. I've never spoken to a group of 1,000 people, Mike, and it's probably something like that, plus maybe more. This is larger than probably any district conference in the United States. I don't know about the rest of the world, but that's a lot of people. So I congratulate you for promoting this, because I remember BJ Radical said when I was at the DGE training, you can plan the best party in the world, but if nobody comes, it just doesn't matter. And so you really have promoted this where you've got terrific attendance. But, you know, we got some great memories also. Let me just say before I touch on a few things about the impact of our Polio Plus contributions, your donations, because it's important. But we were, I don't know, man could tell you, or Rafi or Gillier, a number of years ago, Charlene and I got the chance to go to 3860, I hope that's right, Mia, to the district conference in Cebu. We got there early and they were very nice to put us up at the Shangri-La for a night. That was very nice. I don't get the chance to do that much. And but anyway, it was a terrific convention and terrific conference. So we got to see Cebu, Manila, the Philippines. You have a beautiful country. It's absolutely, as Mike said, just gorgeous. And you are so nice to the Americans. We appreciate it. But anyway, then the other thing, I said I love my position working on polio coordinators, and two things really. I love raising money, number one. And Jesse is right. You have to thank people. I say fundraising is about three things: acknowledge, awareness, ask, and acknowledge. Or thank you, 3 A's. And if you've got to make somebody aware of what you're passionate about. And if you're not passionate about it, it's going to stand out. You got to make them aware of what you're passionate about. You then, after you spend time listening very well to the potential donor, you do make the ask, and you should know some idea of their capacity and capability. But then when you finish, please thank, I've written thank notes to some of the people on this call for the contributions they made last year. You want to thank them. And for heaven's sake, don't just thank the Rotarian. Johnny said it a little while ago. He and his wife made this decision to make this significant contribution to end polio. Thank both of them. When you make a contribution like this or anything, it takes both parties to make that contribution. The other thing, I'm passionate about raising money. I like doing it. But about 15 years ago, Charlene, my wife, told me, I want to go to India on a National Immunization Day. Well, this was farthest from my mind. I had no desire really to travel a lot. I had done that with IBM Corporation. And I was kind of, okay. But she told me a story that I found out later, about 10 years later, that when she was 10 years old, this little girl on the playground where she was in elementary school was 6 years old, and with her crutches on the playground, some little boys knocked out those crutches and laughed and ran away. She still has that picture today. And Charlene is not 10 years old anymore. This is the reason we went. This is the reason many of you are so passionate about getting rid of this disease, that of some situation like this. It's personal. And then when we went to India, we found out that I thought if I didn't give a child the drops, they'd maybe die. They would never walk again. The reason we really went was to tell these people who were doing a sub-national immunization day or national immunization day, maybe every month, we think we're tired of raising money. You must be unbelievably tired of doing this every month. And that week we went there, they immunized 137 million children in India. I mean, that's 40% of the population in the United States. So that's why it's important to do this. And that's why I love working with John and Mike and Ernesto and Leanne and trying to make sure we do finish the job. I want to show you just a couple of charts. If I got the presentation here somewhere, I don't know where it is. I hope I'm not supposed to flip it up myself, but if I am, I won't even use it. So I'll just talk through this thing. We raise this money, and your donation is important for just a few reasons. I've written down 4 reasons I believe. One, it is absolutely proof that if we give these drops, it will save lives. If we eradicate the entire world, it will save lives. And you look at COVID right now. What is a life worth? What is one life worth? I'll bet some of you know some people personally, some person personally who has died from COVID. So we've proven it saves lives. Secondly, we can do it. Back in 1985, in 79, it started in the Philippines. You know how many people had polio back then? We got, as Mike said, only 2 cases. The last case, January 27th. It's achievable. The third thing, it's absolutely a good investment. Over the next 10 years, we're going to say, I forgot what the number is, 50. If I said million, it's billion. But it's an unbelievable amount of money we can put into other things that make sense and not just continuing to spend all the money. In the United States, we spend every year about $900 million to stay this close because every child is vaccinated. Every child receives multiple vaccinations. And secondly, the United States government puts in about $250 million. So when I talk to people in the United States, they think, I said, I love my position. We're working on polio. Anyway, as John said, I'm not sure where I was, that it costs us money to stay this close. And people in India, people in the United States, wherever you go, if you don't have polio in your country, People think it doesn't cost us anything. Well, that's just not true. So the third thing, it creates an infrastructure to eliminate any disease. And the Gates Foundation is involved in us, I'm convinced, and I've heard Melinda talk a while back on a TED Talk, not just because we can eradicate one disease, but this creates the infrastructure to eradicate any disease, to provide vaccines and make them available to anybody in close proximity. So the infrastructure we've created, look what it's done for COVID-19. Look what it did for Ebola. I mean, this infrastructure and the resources are critical to eradicating any disease. Let me just say this, that a lot of people ask me, this 50 million we raise every year, Robert, what happens to that 50 million? Where does it go? Does it just disappear, or what happens? And so Mike McGovern one time, I think, or Carol Panday, tells us there's about 4 major areas that not 50 million, but you remember Gates matches it 2 to 1, the 150 million. And creating the vaccines is critical. It's a big component. Transporting the vaccines wherever they're needed, whatever country they're needed, is another key element. Continuing to detect diseases and to also raising awareness. My God, if we don't raise awareness, we can't do anything. So there's only 4 major areas that the global polio grants are made. And so if your club say, where does this money go? And we're interested in doing global grants, this is a global project, a grant, whatever you want to call it, to eradicate polio. This is important where this money goes. So then you look at what we do and how we raise money. And I looked at the last year, 2021. And I talked to John Jerm. We were looking at what did we learn from last year? Well, we learned last year that 64% of the districts worldwide contributed anything to polio. Anything, okay? We learned also that 40% created 20% DDF. 40% created 20%. That's really terrific. And many of your districts did that. We looked at club participation, and worldwide 57% of the clubs contributed anything. So 43% did not contribute a penny. I'm happy to say that in the Philippines, in District 11 here, 10A, Region 11, that 81% of your clubs participated and gave to polio eradication. So what that tells me, you're making Rotarians and clubs aware, the polio chairs in your districts, probably in your clubs, aware that we've got to finish the drill. We've got to eradicate this worldwide. 81% is probably one of the high numbers in the whole world. And then, $1,500 per club is our goal, and many of your clubs contribute this. So you really are doing the job, and the Rotarians in the Philippines and Malaysia absolutely are aware and do make the contributions. We're on target this year. We barely made it last year. We're a little behind. Through August, we're going to have a meeting, in fact, to follow this meeting that Mian's going to be on, and Ernesto. And we're a little bit behind, but we were a little bit behind last year, and we made it with your efforts, especially in May and June. So, I want to thank you for what you're doing. I say when I look at 2020 and 21, I look at 6 areas that will make a difference in us as we contribute to eradicate polio. And that is getting every club to participate. That is getting every club and district, if they're going to participate, they should have a polio chair in the districts and the clubs. And I say also to the polio coordinators, see if you can look at every district and secure one major gift. There's a Rotarian that I've been very close with in Georgia. He gives because there's no other place he can find a better investment where he gets a 3 to 1. He gives $1,000 or $10,000 or $1 million and it is multiplied 3 times. And that's a good investment. So wherever you have a major donor that's going to contribute to polio, see if they can leverage it in their district, challenge their district. If you give 20,000, I'll give 20,000, something like that. I think we need to continue to use social media, and that'll get us a lot of awareness among the general public. And then we'll talk more. I know Leanne's already told me about, I want to say that it's probably her district, 3860, but it's a district, already has 300 and, already has 31,000. I don't know. What's the number, man, you have in your district of Polio Plus Society members? Polio Plus Society is a new thing we have where you could contribute $100 and be a member of the Polio Plus Society. And so many districts are doing that. I can't wait to see the reports that y'all are going to come out with as we go to the next step in this. And I just say that John quoted Winston Churchill, and I have one quote from Gates I really like. Gates says, "We cannot let children die because we are so fatigued." And Churchill, I remember the speech he gave is never give up, never give up, never give up. I'm not going to give up. I know you won't. And I appreciate all that you have done last year, significant from the Philippines and Malaysia, and all that you'll do this next year. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
This is a story of historic progress, a story that doesn't exist without you. Our unifying effort in 3 decades of action demonstrates our commitment and endurance. And our progress thus far shows that a polio-free world is achievable. Individuals, clubs, partners, and governments share a collective vision to improve the health of every single child. We've eliminated polio in some of the most difficult places, overcoming obstacles and navigating complex issues. Our successes prove that polio will be eradicated, and while ending a global disease is not easy, as Rotary, we don't give up. We'll continue our fight until each child is protected. This isn't possible without you. So stay involved, keep pushing forward, engage your clubs and communities. Start a social media conversation and increase visibility on the importance of this global effort. Hold events and fundraisers on World Polio Day and throughout the year. Advocate to governments about the importance of supporting polio eradication. Make a contribution and invest in one of the largest health initiatives ever. Be a character in our story. Be the solution to our challenge. It's because of each and every one of you that we will improve our future by making polio a disease of the past. Eradication is possible, so let's keep our promise.
Okay, thank you very much, past RI Director Robert Hall.
Thank you.
That's yes, well, I have I got three important messages from what you have said. Awareness is the key. And thank you for reminding us that 81% of the clubs in Zone 10A contributed to polio. And you know that number will increase because of the efforts of End Polio Now Coordinator Mayan. I'm sure of that. And last is, I like what you have just said, never give up, never give up, never give up. And we will never give up on polio. Okay, so there's a request that let's have a group photo opportunity with our dignitaries. By the way, we will have an open forum. We will have a panel discussion, and this will be the Q&A portion. But before we do that, I would like to ask everybody to please turn on your videos, because if your video is off, you will not be included in the photo, because there's an app or there's a feature that we can only include the photos of those with videos on. Okay, everybody, can we have your cooperation to appreciate this, you have to click on your gallery view. Click on your gallery view. You can find it on the upper right. So if you click it, okay, you can see everybody. We will ask the technical team to do this because there are so many pages. But one thing, you have to keep on smiling because you don't know what page you are on. So, Nico, can you please take over?
Yes, Governor Jun, we have 11 screens with their cameras on. So I'll
Okay,
start
11.
right now. So just keep on smiling. In three,
Keep on
two, one.
smiling.
First screen. Okay. Second screen. Third, please refrain from posting muna sa chat. Okay. Thank you. Third screen. Okay. We have 12. I'm so sorry. Okay, fourth screen. And fifth screen. Just keep on smiling. Okay, on to the sixth screen. We're halfway there. Okay, seventh screen. Smile. Eighth screen. Ninth screen. We have 13 na. Okay, ninth screen. Just keep on smiling. 10th screen. Okay. 11th screen. Our last two. 12. And finally, on our 13th screen. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nico. Actually, when Nico mentioned about screen, that is his screen, and is using a different device. If you're using a MacBook, you can only find 25 images per page. But Nico has a big screen, so I just don't know. Is it 49 images per screen, Nico, or 50?
I'm just using a regular screen right now, so 46, I suppose.
46, okay. So if you have 13 pages of 46, those with video on. Okay, so we will now proceed with the district polio updates. And to handle this portion of the program, okay, is a very hardworking. I mentioned already that she's very hardworking, and she has a favorite phrase to describe her. This is according to her. She makes everybody crazy, okay, because she likes us to really work hard for polio, and I think that's very good. So she has been busy talking to our global speakers and busy talking to our incumbent district governors to be able to handle this portion of the program. So let us welcome to the screen from the Rotary Club of Cebu Fuente, District 3860, our End Polio Now coordinator, past district governor Mary Ann Solomon.
Thank you very much, RRFC Gov June. Actually, that was the favorite line of immediate past district governor Louis Gonzaga. I drove him crazy, but now he misses me crazy. I'd like to greet with my respect our PowerCast speakers. Good morning, USA, and good evening, Australia. To the Philippines, Bangladesh, Singapore, and Malaysia, now in Zoom, good evening to all of you, and thank you for participating in Zone 10A Polio Summit 2021. Actually, this is now the second Polio Summit in a row, and I'd like to give credit where credit is due. The Philippines is geographically challenged. So what we did was we thought of a one-time, big-time summit. And this was how it began in 2021. So I'd like to thank the transforming district governors for making this happen together with the district polio coordinators. And because we sustained it, I'd also like to thank our life-changing district governors. So having been inspired by all the impactful, powerful speeches delivered by first immediate past district governor Johnny Yu, I believe in you, Gov. Johnny. You walk the talk. And to RI Director Jesse Harmon, to past RI President John Germs, to past RI Vice President Mike McGovern, whom I will see in the next 3 inductions of the Polio Plus Society, and of course, past RI Director Robert Hall. So what can I say? Thank you very much for being part of this. You are the stars, but I have to say the stars are the district governors now, as they will present the reports and they will also present their commitment. But before that, to lead us with the pledges, I'd like to introduce one of the Philippines' top contributors to polio, AKS Circle, past RI Director. I'd like to call on Rafi Garcia. Past RI Director Rafi.
Thank you, ma'am. I don't usually make a commitment on polio this early because I normally make it in June. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a commitment that I will give whatever Johnny Gao Yu gives to polio this year. Because I have been egging him along to give to the Rotary Foundation to the extent that he becomes a Foundation Circle member. And I think he's on the way to doing that this year. So he may be the second Foundation Circle member from the Philippines if he follows my lead and considers all my egging. But I don't want him to think that I push without pushing myself. So I want him to pull me along. Whatever he will give to polio this year, I will commit to give this year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, past RI Director Rafi. I hope you can pull more with you and bring them to the 30,000 circle. So keep pulling the rest. We will give you the list of the top contributors. Thank you very much. At this point, I will now show you this beautiful report, which will impress everyone in Zone 10A and our speakers. Take a look at this check. Since 2018, there was no way to go but up. The Philippines, Zone 10A, has been more aware about polio and has contributed to polio. In fact, Rotary year 2020 and 2021 was the banner year in the 10 years history of polio of more than $600,000 from the 2018 figure of $127,000. Our next figure shows the performance of the districts as of October 16, 2021. We've raised already $164,025. Our next slide would show a comparison of how we performed for the same period of last year and this year. So take a look at the bottom figures. We've raised more than double this year. So if this is any indication, I am sure, again, there's no way to go but up. We will grow in polio giving. So allow me now to introduce all the life-changing district governors, and I'd like to begin with District 3770, led by District Governor Art Que, but he will be represented by District Polio Coordinator Lou Capili. Lou Capili, can you please come in? Okay.
Good evening, Rotarians from the Philippines. Good morning and good afternoon to our esteemed guests and dignitaries. I am privileged to report for Governor Arque, who is having right now a face-to-face induction. For our district, As of October 15, for our district as of October 15, we have raised about $12,000. And we have at least 8 clubs who have committed to donate 1,500, and that's a total of $12,000 as well. For the Polio Plus Society, we have 100 committed Rotarians to give $100 as well. So that is $10,000. And for our merchandises, we expect to raise about $1,000. And for our district-wide virtual takbo kontra polio, we are expected to raise about $10,000. And for Rotarians to receive the regional awards, we have already one Rotarian who donated $2,000. And for our district designated fund, our governor is expected to give at least $1,000. So that's a total of $47,000. And we hope to encourage more Rotarians to donate for polio by the end of the year. Our target is about, last year we made a total of $55,000, but it's still a lot more months to come. So we hope to raise more funds for our district. And our district goal is to encourage each and every Rotarian, all 2,882, to give 100% participation for our End Polio goals worldwide. Thank you for the chance to represent our district. Back to you, Gobmean.
Thank you very much, District Polio Coordinator Lou. For our second reporter, we'd like to call from District 3780 of District Governor Willie Serafica to be represented by DRFC past District Governor Ray David. Gov Ray.
Thank you very much, past District Governor Mayan. Yeah, actually, I'm from District 3780 to represent past District Governor, District Governor Ed Ayento. Again, good morning, good evening to my fellow Rotary leaders and my fellow Rotarians. At this point, allow me to report to you our commitment of our District 3780 to polio. As we know, we have promised to the children of the world, and that is to eradicate this dreaded disease, what we call polio. Our goal for this year is to give a minimum of $25,000 to polio. But our generous past District Governor Johnny Gao-Yu donated already $30,000 and we were able to achieve that goal. But don't worry, we will increase our giving to the Rotary, to the Polio Plus Fund. So last year, our contributions to polio is about $106,000, and that is under the leadership of past District Governor Johnny Gao-Yu. And this Rotary year, we are encouraging all our clubs to give at least a minimum of $200 for that 100 clubs so that we can easily achieve that target of $25,000. And of course, for that, we encourage all clubs, 15 clubs, to give polio giving clubs, 100% polio giving clubs, and for the 5 clubs to give at least $1,500 to polio. And for our Rotarians, 20 and also Rotarians to be a member of the Polio Plus Society, also members. And that is our commitment. And of course, to give $5,000 of our DDF to polio. And of course, we have these fundraising activities for polio. And this, our chairman, is our past president, Yayo, and also Oliveros, together with Rotary Club of St. Ignatius, and doing their best. And also, we have this car raffle and also the motorcade and dance to end polio. And their target is to earn at least a minimum of 2 million pesos, and 50% of this one will be given to polio. And that is the commitment of our District 3780. At this point, allow me to end this one with this wonderful saying, God loves a cheerful givers. We give not reluctantly. We give not by compulsion, but we give with our heart desire. And God loves a cheerful giver. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor Ray. We love you also, and we love that you give for the Polio Fund. Our next speaker, representing District 3790, is District Governor Willie Serafica.
Rotary leaders, fellow Rotarians, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Next. This is our report from District 3790. Yours truly, District Governor Willie Serafica, and our District Polio Chair, Past President Carla Espinosa. Next. During the opening salvo for our new Rotary year, the importance of living by example was emphasized to our life-changing presidents, whom we challenged to initiate donating $10 each to Polio Plus Fund. Amazingly, our life-changing presidents responded to our challenge optimistically by pledging $100 each instead. Thereby, a total of 5,000 pledges from life-changing presidents became the priming fund for Polio Plus Fund. For Polio Plus. Next. Various campaigns for End Polio is being done in our District 3790, led by our District Polio Chair, Carla Espinosa from Rotary Club of Central Pampanga. Next. Next. We introduce End Polio cans to all club members of Rotary clubs to encourage them to donate to Polio Plus. Each End Polio can for each of the 2,621 members will produce a minimum of $10, equating to a total of $26,210. And even in the worst scenario, if we gather only 60% participants on this activity, this will still mean $15,000 going to our Polio Plus Fund. But of course, we continue to appeal to our members to patronize this campaign. Next. We also included End Polio Now t-shirt in our merchandise, selling at $10 each, of which the $6 goes as donation to Polio Plus Fund. To date, $5,100 is to be donated to Polio Plus Fund, coming from the 850 units t-shirts that has been sold. The t-shirt is well designed, the color is appealing, and it looks good on any wearer. So we continue to sell to get the most out of these t-shirts. Next. Let's recall that last Rotary year, we inducted 56 Charter Polio Plus Society members who pledged to contribute $100 yearly or $5,600. Next. This year, 2021, we are inducting another 200 Polio Plus Society members who will also sign the Polio Plus Society membership and expected to pledge the same, equivalent to additional $20,000. So in total, our Polio Plus Society members will contribute additional $25,600 to our Polio Plus Fund. Furthermore, more clubs are initiating other polio fundraising activities, such as Jump into Polio, mountain biking, and pub tag badge to augment donations for Polio Plus. Additionally, we already have, next please. Additionally, we already have 7 individuals who pledged to give $1,000 to Polio Plus Fund, and 10 clubs pledged $1,500 each This means a total of $22,000. Allow me to mention the individuals who pledged to give $1,000. Yours truly, District Governor Willie Serafica, our EMGA, Past District Governor Jesnic Tao, Past District Governor Benigno Valles, District Polio Chair Carla Espinosa, President Rosalyn Sabdao, President April Mercado, and immediate past President Agnes Garcia. So to date, with our district life-changing team and fellow Rotarians, our actual contributions and pledges is around 70,000, which is a bit more than our last year's Polio Plus Fund of $60,000. We commit to collect the said pledges in the realization of our goal to end polio now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gov. Willie. You have a busy October ahead of you. Now, our second speaker is from District 3800. We'd like to call District Governor Ogie Soliman. Gov. Ogie.
Thank you very much, Gov. Mayan. Okay. Okay. Our situation in District 3800 with regards to the Polio Plus contributions. As of October 15, we have in record of 18,977 as contributed to polio already, and we are doing good as far as the trend is concerned. And of course, earlier before the Rotary year, we have set the district goal that is $60,000 US. From there, as time goes by, we've been doing our goals and action plans. And first, let me say that we will be targeting 20 Rotary clubs to contribute at least 1,500 each this Rotary year. And that will be a commitment of $30,000 US. And second, we will be encouraging more Rotarians to be members of the Polio Plus Society. In fact, we'll be inviting more charter members, and hopefully before the chartering or the oath induction of these charter members, we will reach more than 250 already. And further to that, before the end of the Rotary year, we'll be having more Polio Plus Society. So conservatively, we would like to put this contribution to $25,000 for 250 Rotarians. And then we are doing fundraising activities, the first of which is a fund run, which we found very effective and successful. And from last year, that's why we're doing another run for this. And right now, we are very confident that we will be raising no less than $10,000 US for polio. And we have another fundraising activity that is called the District Car Raffle, in which we support the different clubs by way of having them enjoy 80% of the proceeds as their fund raise for their club activities and projects, but of course donating some amount to the polio. We only collect from the district 20% of the proceeds in order for us to pay for the expenses of the prizes. So with this, we'll be achieving $10,000 US dollars for polio. Next is that we will be encouraging more club presidents to contribute with a minimum of $1,000. And I'm confident that we will even reach 30 club presidents or 30 Rotarians who can contribute more than $1,000. But for conservative estimate, we will be having $20,000 US dollars as contribution to polio. And finally, from our DDF, we will be allocating a minimum of $10,000 US dollars. It may be more depending on the outcome of our utilization of the district designated fund before the end of the year, and this may be increased. So as of now, we will pledge $10,000 US dollars. So those, with all of this, I believe we will be even surpassing our goal of $60,000 US dollars. As you've noticed, past RI Director Rafi from our district has already pledged substantial amount, and we would like to thank past RI Director Rafi, who is the pride of our district, for such action. And by the way, he is also the chair of our End Polio campaign. So with that, I would like to thank you for this opportunity in showing you our status of the Polio Plus campaign in District 3800. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you very much, Gov. Oji. Well reported. Yeah, you did not forget past RI Director Rafi's pledge. Now we'd like to call from District 3820, District Governor Angie Sunyo.
Protocol observed. A pleasant evening to everyone. Our district goal is $45,000 US dollar for the Rotary year. As of October 15, our District 3820 has remitted the total amount of $34,971 US dollars. So we have achieved 75% of our goal through the different strategies we employed. I know that the main reason for this overwhelming response is the personal conviction of Rotarians to share and support this legacy program and the creative ideas to make these fundraising activities appealing to Rotarians. My personal gratitude to our Polio Plus coordinator, past President J. Herbert de L. and Rotarian Jojo de los Reyes of Rotary Club of Lucena Central, past District Governor Everett Olivan and Lady Maricel of Rotary Club of Naga, past District Governor Chito Recto, to our Deputy District Governors, past President Delia Rodelas, past President Dingo, past President Caloy Garcia, past President Eric Santos, and again, past President Maricel Olivan, and all the assistant governors and all the life-changing presidents and Rotarians of District 3820. There are at least 10 clubs who will contribute 1,500, namely Rotary Club of Atimonan Lacambini, Rotary Club of Batangas, Rotary Club of Bawan, Rotary Club of Calamba City, Rotary Club of Lipa, Rotary Club of Lipa South, Rotary Club of Lipa West, Rotary Club of Lucena Central, Rotary Club of Naga, and Rotary Club of San Pedro. And I'm proud to announce that Rotary Club of Lucena Central is the first club in our district that is 100% Polio Plus Society Club. Around 350 Rotarians from our district pledged to be Polio Plus Society members. An additional contribution of 35,000 US dollars. It is our great honor that our 350 strong Polio Plus Society members will be inducted by our honorable guest of honor and speaker, past RI Vice President Mike, this coming October 24. We expect around 30,000 US dollars from the sale of the following. From the raffle tickets, we expect 23,500. From the sale of N polio shirts, we expect around 3,900. And from our unified shirt sale, we expect 2,500 US dollars. So two Rotarians also from our district had contributed already at least 1,000 US dollars for this noble cause of ending polio. May I mention the names of these generous Rotarians, namely District Governor nominee William Pastor Del Lloro Jr. of Rotary Club of Naga, who contributed 2,000 US dollars, and Rotarian Eli Abanto of Rotary Club of Bawan, who contributed $1,000. I hope we can encourage more to donate. From the bottom of our hearts, District 3820 will initially contribute 10,000 US dollars from our district designated fund. Before the end of our Rotary year, we shall reassess if we can still increase our polio contribution. So from the Polio Plus Society, we expect to get $35,000. From the fundraising activities, we expect to get collect $30,000. And from our district designated fund, $10,000. So a total of 75,000 US dollar, God willing. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you very much, Gov. Angie. When there's a will, there's a way. So it will happen. Thank you very much. Our next reporter is from District 3830, District Governor Georgie Tan.
Esteemed Rotary leaders, fellow Rotarians, greetings. I'm happy to report that District 3830 has contributed a total of 33,862 US dollars to the Polio Plus Fund, exceeding our target of $30,000. 316 wonderful Rotarians pledged to donate $100 annually to the Polio Fund. They are taking their sworn oath as charter members of our Polio Plus Society, which we are launching on October 21st at 7 p.m. Manila time. 5 Rotary clubs contributed $1,500 each, a total of $7,500. We project that 7 more Rotary clubs will join the bandwagon, so we are looking at 12 clubs giving $1,500 by year end. Out of 109 Rotary clubs in our district, 62 clubs, or about 57%, heeded the call for support. Through polio merchandise, water bottles, reversible bucket hats, and t-shirts, our district team created high brand awareness. We expect to raise $1,500 through sales. To date, we already raised $890. Proceeds of item sales are donated to the Polio Fund in the buyers' names. Rotary and Rotaract clubs came up with outstanding polio awareness campaign activities like the Rotaract Polio Day Run, Zumba to end polio in Las Piñas, large banners proudly lining up busy streets in BF Homes, Parañaque City, simultaneous vaccination drives in Luzon and in the Visayas, motorcades, webinars, bikeathon, TikTok video competition, unveiling billboards in Palawan, a strategic hydration station for Sunday morning bikers and runners traversing the Anghari Road in Muntinlupa City, where Rotarians in red polio shirts will be giving out water bottles with End Polio Now stickers, an event to be documented by aerial drone. And this is happening on October 24th. Digital public image billboards in high-traffic Metro Manila locations streaming photos of personalities wearing End Polio shirts, flashing, "Are this close to ending polio? Hand me." Beaming of the End Polio video ads from the globe of the SM Mall of Asia complex. And a district-hosted Zoom telethon tagged "Closing in on Polio," featuring reports from simultaneous World Polio Day event sites. To date, 7 Rotarians contributed $1,000 each to the fund. We are eyeing 8 more. From our district designated fund, we are allocating $5,000 to polio. Our concerted District 3830 Polio Fund campaign should be able to contribute a total of $50,000 this year. We eradicated polio in the Philippines many years ago, and it started with a pilot program in the form of a 3H grant from the Rotary Foundation, launched here in our district in September of 1979. We laud the initiatives of past Rotary International President Matt Caparas and past Rotary International Director Paing Hechanova. We would love to welcome you again to the historic Rotary Club of Makati grounds, Polio Plus Chair Mike, where it all began. Cheers to our Rotary Foundation Chair, Sid Garcia, and End Polio Now Chair, Mabel Esteban, and all our life-changing presidents and donors for their overwhelming support. Inspiration for the worldwide polio campaign started in the Philippines. Our Polio Plus Society is our way of paying it forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gov. Georgie, for that well-organized presentation. And now we'd like to call on from District 3850, mentioned by past RI Director Robert Hall. They just inducted 312 Polio Plus Society members. Governor Edwin To.
Buenos dias, fellow Rotarians, fellow Rotary leaders, protocol observed. Thank you for the opportunity to share the End Polio Now story of our district, Rotary International District 3850. From True Drops in 1979, Guadalupe Viejo, Makati. Also, 2 days ago, our fund district, District 3850, inducted 312 Polio Plus Society members. All generous donors were beaming with pride and honor when our keynote speaker, past Rotary International Director Mike McGovern, said, "It is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day for the children of the world, and a historic day because this is actually the first district in the world to charter and induct Polio Plus Society member." Thank you very much to our inducting officer, past Rotary International Director Mike, for being with us that day. PDG Mayan Solomon calls the Polio Plus Society membership a welcome fundraiser. I'm sure she is smiling. On behalf of District Polio Chair, past Assistant Governor Jun Kwan, I would like to take this opportunity to publicly thank the following Rotary clubs in District 3850 who had the courage, the genius, and the generosity to support the Polio Fund Plus of our district. First, thank you and congratulations to the Rotary Club of Iloilo City for their dedication and passion. All 28 members are now Polio Plus charter members, the first and only club in our district with such laudable distinction. We were also supported by 8 committed clubs who contributed at least 1,500. Allow me to call them out: Rotary Club of Bacolod, Rotary Club of Bacolod North, Rotary Club of Bongao as far as Bongao, Rotary Club of Iloilo, one of the oldest club in our district, Metro Iloilo, Rotary Club of Bacadian, Rotary Club of Zamboanga West, and our home club, Rotary Club of Zamboanga City. These are and then all clubs, all members. The following 12 clubs and their members came in full force to support us. All members of the following clubs donated to the Polio Plus Fund. Thank you very much to RC Bacolod, RC Bacolod South, RC Bacolod West, RC Iloilo City, RC Metro Bacolod, RC Calibo, RC Metro Calibo Central, RC Haro Central Line, RC Jimenez, RC Osamis North, RC Sagay, Sinigayan, and Zamboanga City. This is our district performance and our pledge. Past Rotary International Director Bruce, I am pleased to inform you all 53 clubs in District 3850 took part in the End Polio fundraising. This is our humble way to drop it to 0. That means this year, you will see a 0 in our report. Based on Rotary International TRF system, we have so far reported 21,900 in the system, and 10,670 is now for posting. We are all busy this year or this month. And for this life-changing Rotary year, we earmarked 2,500 of our district designated fund to support the Polio Plus. We will continue to be persistent and patient in our efforts to end polio now. So on behalf of District 3850, I pledge another 7,000. And we hope to end the year with 42,000 to become our total Polio Plus giving for the life-changing Rotary year 2021 and 2022. And as we say in District 3850, together we can, together we will. Thank you, Gov. Mayan.
Thank you very much, Gov. Edwin To, todo na to. So from 17,000 last year, you're now pledging 42,000 this year. What a great increase in polio giving. Thank you very much. Our next presenter is from District 3860. We'd like to call on District Governor Ana Bumagat.
Good morning and good evening to everybody. Allow me to share to you our report for the End Polio campaign of District 3860. So just to kick off October, I did a Patak Polio activity together with my club, and this is one of the pictures. This is our Polio Plus fundraising report as of October 16. We have contributed 24,814 as of October 16. We are targeting 25 clubs to give at least $1,500. We are targeting at least 15 Rotarians to give 1,000. We have already signed off $43,688.75, which represent 20% of our district designated fund for polio this Rotary year, a promise that we have kept since the Rotary year 2013-2014, when we have been giving 20% of our DDF for polio. We are targeting 100 members for Polio Plus Society this Rotary year, and for fundraising events, we are targeting at least $10,000. So this is our Together We End Polio district designated fund pledge form. However, I would like to ask assistance from RISPO to please reflect this 20% DDF donation, because as of today, I have not seen it reflected in the report yet, and I would really very much appreciate the update very, very soon. Thank you in advance. So we have several activities. I Run to End Polio Season 2, and we have also partnered with Robinson's Malls for our End Polio awareness campaigns in Cebu, Ormoc, Tacloban, Butuan, Davao, General Santos City, and Dumaguete. Okay, this is our save the date for our Rotary Day of Service and End Polio bike ride, which we are going to do all over the district. This is one of our fundraising projects. Very, very soon, our auction of world-class designers furniture with no less than Mr. Kenneth Cobonque, a world-class designer, and Mr. Pete Delantar, a member of the Rotary Club of Cebu, who is a Gold Invention Awardee in International Exhibition of Inventions in Switzerland. So this all proceeds of the auction will go to the Polio Plus campaign. Just recently, more than 100 Rotarians of District 3860 gave a simple birthday gift to our Rotary International President Shaker Mehta, $10 each for in honor of his day. We are acknowledging all our donors during the TRF Awards 2021 via Zoom. Thank you very much, and we would like to, District 3860 would like to reiterate its goal. This is Rotary's promise to the world, and it is a promise we intend to keep. Together, let us end polio. Let us drop to zero and finish the job. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you very much, Gov. Anna. And of course, that was a very unique way of raising funds for the birthday of RI President Shaker Mehta. I'd like to make mention on October 24 is World Polio Day, and in the presence of past RI Director Robert Hall, it's also the birthday of his lovely spouse, Charlene. Now, I'd like to call on our next speaker from District 3870, Governor John Mark Saraga.
Dignitaries, guests, and friends of Rotary, good evening. Rotary International District 3870's contribution to Polio Plus is still at $1,319.36 to date. Our goal is to reach $14,000 by the end of the Rotary year. As of today, two clubs, the Rotary Club of Cagayan de Oro East Urban and the Rotary Club of Hingoog Bay, have pledged at least $1,500. For the launching of the Polio Plus Society, the district aims to register at least 30 charter members. In our district, fundraising efforts usually begin in earnest on October 24, World Polio Day. It is our hope to raise at least $3,000 by way of fundraisers for Polio Plus. Though the district was able to give $6,000 for the regional awards in the last Rotary year, we are unsure about the achievable amount at present. Thus, the district will keep the pledge at least $1,000 for now. District 3870 has committed the entirety of this year's district designated fund to supporting clubs applying for global and district grants. As such, we will be unable to set aside a percentage of our district designated fund for Polio Plus at this time, although any and all surplus DDF at the end of the Rotary year will be contributed to Polio Plus. Our district is committed to Polio Plus and the programs of the Rotary Foundation. I'd like to thank District Polio Plus Chairperson, Past President Tita Chope, for representing the district in the coordination of activities of the clubs. I would also like to report that our Rotaractors, led by District Rotaract Representative Rian Nuenay, pledged $900, $300 of which has already been collected. Be assured that we are one in our commitment to eliminating polio from the face of the earth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gov. John, for your report. So there you have it. We had all the 10 district governors reporting. And at this point, I'd like to show this slide where this is breaking news. Trustee Sang Hyuk Yoon posted this slide of BTS artist Jimin. So can we show the slide, please? And Jimin of BTS gave 100 million won, Korean won, to Rotary for polio eradication. And he said, thanks to the effort of Rotary and so many people, polio is coming to an end on this planet. I wanted to join this historic moment to make sure no child suffers from polio. I just like to share this because it thrilled me. In District 3850, the Rotary Club of Bacolod Central came up with a project raising Be Like Jimin. So Be Like Jimin, and it inspired a lot of Rotary actors to give at least $1 or $10 to polio. So thank you very much. Our next slide is a slide that I just like to say thank you also. We thank the district governors earlier and also the DRFCs for the hard work they put. But let me thank the district polio coordinators. The next slide, please, for also the hard work that they've done. If I've been driving the governors crazy and I only speak with them how often, I speak with the district polio coordinators almost every week. So they must be crazier than ever. So thank you very much to the district polio coordinators. Next, I'd like to show this slide. Next slide, please. Okay, we've made progress. You'd see the picture on the lower right. That was in 1979 when RI President James Bomar gave the first drop of polio to a Filipino child. And we were declared polio-free in 2000. India, one big country which highly populated, was polio-free in 2014. And just last year in 2020, Africa was declared polio-free. We want to put a year on this beautiful child, 2026. So what if this was your child? This is my favorite slide. What if this was your grandchild? What would you do? What would you give? Imagine not being able to stop your child from being a victim. These are my two beautiful granddaughters, Frankie and Lila, and that's why I give more to polio. And moving forward, we all make a statement. We all want to end polio. Remember, smallpox has been eradicated. Let's keep our promise to the children of the world. Let's eradicate polio. Why? Because we are Rotary. And let's play this video. The future belongs to the children. And we play a big role. So together, we will end polio. Nico, please play this video. Credit to June Kwan for this video.
I am the future of the world. I am the hope of my nation. I am tomorrow's people. I am the new inspiration. And we've got a song to sing to you. We've got a message to bring to you. Please let there be for you and for me a tomorrow. Tomorrow. If we all can agree, there'll be sweet harmony tomorrow. Tomorrow. And we all will be there. Come to call and to share. Feeling so real and so true. So real and so true. Promise us tomorrow. And we'll build a better world for you.
Thank you very much to all for your generous contribution to polio.
Thank you very much. And Polio Now Coordinator, Past District Governor Mary Ann Solomon, for the district polio updates. And of course, thank you so much to the pride of our district, District 3800, Past RI Director Rafi Garcia, for your continuing support to polio. And of course, thank you for the wonderful reports and the pledges of our life-changing governors from the 10 districts of the Philippines. So we've come to the point of a panel discussion, but I understand some of our speakers have also pressing commitments and they have to be excused. I just know who will remain, but I know RI Director Jesse will be with us. And Gomean, is past RI President John or is still here?
No more of June. He left for a trustee meeting.
Okay, so how about past RI Director
Robert Hall and Mike McGovern, they left for an End Polio Now meeting, which I will follow in a while.
Okay, so you cannot leave yet because we will make you our panelists. So we will have
okay.
Mayan and RI Director Jesse Harman. And of course, let me just turn it over. Let's have a quick panel discussion or Q&A portion of this event. And I would like to turn it over to our moderator, a veteran moderator, the Dean of the Rotary Academy of 3780, now Assistant RRFC. Next year, he will succeed me as RRFC. Please welcome our moderator, Assistant RRFC, Penny Policarpio.
Thank you very much to our excellent moderator, our boss, RRFC June. To all fellow Rotarians, fellow Rotary leaders and friends, good evening. And truly, we have been blessed this evening, because of our very distinguished Rotary international leaders who have graced this occasion to honor our efforts in Polio Plus. So the chat box is filled with so many messages of appreciation and gratitude. So to all our very distinguished panel of speakers, thank you very much. And I hope you will just indulge us with a few questions from your very informative and very inspiring messages this evening. So without further ado, with your kind permission, EPNC coordinator, Mayan and
yes.
June, with your kind permission, we'd like to just express a few questions that we received regarding some of the matters that were discussed this evening. So, RID Jesse, with your permission, this is a question that came over from the chat box, and this says, and it goes this way. As a Rotarian, as a Rotary leader, RI Director Jesse, normally, we are torn between contributing to the annual fund versus the polio fund. And so what advice could you give us and our Rotary leaders here with regard to the proper priority in giving? What percentage, as the question goes, what percentage of the donation should be given to each of these funds?
Thank you, Penny. That's a particularly challenging question to start with. Do you know? I think the answer is to follow your passions. It is about what makes your heart sing. It's about listening to the donors and understanding where they choose to put their funds. I think we are lucky in Rotary that we have so many different options. There are benefits for the annual fund, but we promised the world that we would eradicate polio. So I'm not going to give you a hard and fast answer, Penny. I think it's a case of pursue your passions and put your donations where they matter most.
Follow your heart. You heard
Follow your heart.
A follow-up question, Director Jesse. In your perspective, now that we are very near the end of polio, what you think would be our next advocacy, or have you heard any discussions on that?
I can remember not so long ago, Penny, there was even a discussion about whether we would have another big corporate project. But I think there's recognition that polio is something that has mobilised all of us. You know, it is something that has brought all Rotarians together. I think now is the time for you, each of you, to start offering suggestions about what the next project might be. But I know one thing, we won't talk about or choose another global project until we deliver on this promise, until we eradicate this scourge of a disease. So let's get the job done and then we'll have the discussion about what's next.
Finish this one, then.
Finish this one.
This is a question actually for, I think, perhaps past RI Vice President Mike. But if you could answer this, I think someone wants the clarification on how we are doing in Afghanistan. If you have any information on how we have been affected by the present crisis there, if you might call it that.
I think at the outset, we were all very concerned about how the Taliban government would respond. But all of the initial signs are positive, and the Taliban have continued to support vaccination efforts in the country. Rotary, as you know, is non-political, and it is important that we work with all governments of the world. And I know that the trustees are cautiously very optimistic that we will be able to continue to do what we need to do in Afghanistan with the support of the Taliban government.
Okay, there's another question here that just came up. How do you reach out to the indigenous groups that are open to the polio immunization?
You know, that is a particularly challenging question. Mianne, what do you think is the answer to that one?
How do we reach out to indigenous, right? Well, actually, we need to work closely with the local government units, and hopefully they will assist us in reaching out to the indigenous people, considering in these times of pandemic. I think that's the safest way to go.
Well, Govmean, there is a follow-up question on that.
Okay.
You know, I think this is a recurring question. Why doesn't our DOH or Department of Health acknowledge that the vaccines may or may not have come from our efforts in Rotary?
Actually, that is the challenge that is given to us. We are supposed to create awareness and to let them know that Rotary is part of the GPEI, Global Polio Eradication Initiative. Rotary has raised funds, $150 million annually. And in fact, I think I've said it before, given the email from past RI Vice President Mike McGovern in January of 2020 alone, Rotary has given through the WHO more than $2 million worth for polio vaccines. Only we're not recognized, but we were not credited. So we need to make ourselves known. We have to make noise.
So I guess you have your work cut out for you, Govmean. The challenge is the government. Boy, that's a big challenge. All right, so I guess we have one. Well, let me see this. Okay, so I guess this is a question that should concern either Govmean and Director Jesse. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they're really our biggest partner, so to speak. And I think the agreement will be over or will expire sometime in 2023. So what if you know are there plans that will be in place when the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation agreement ends and there's still polio around? So that's perhaps a question that you might want to share with us, your insights on that.
I mean, I will start. Mianne might want to continue. I know that those conversations are still happening with the Gates Foundation about their continued support. Penny, I think all that we can do is continue to do the wonderful fundraising that we are doing and trust that Rotary, with all of its partners, will be able to continue to see the job done. You have all done a fabulous, fabulous job, and this evening is just testimony to all of your generosity, your skills, and you truly are wonderful role models for all Rotarians in the world. And I do want to take the opportunity to say thank you.
Okay, so Coman, you might want to add to that.
Yes, I'd like to add to that. At the start, I want to believe that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation had a goal, and that is to end polio. So if polio is not yet eradicated in 2023, and given that their funding will end in 2023, I want to believe that they still want to see it through. They want to see the end of polio. So I'm pretty sure the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, after investing so many millions, will see the end of it.
Thank you, Govman. Thank you, Director Jesse. There's one final question here. This has often been asked, but I guess you just have to remind our fellow Rotarians, how could we not convert our efforts in polio to the COVID-19 situation that we have now? But essentially, that's the question of several people. But how do we? Is there a way we can, transition this into the present pandemic?
Do you know the Rotary, the polio infrastructure that Rotary helped build, the polio capability that Rotary has helped support, moved very quickly into surveillance and support and distribution of vaccines for COVID. So everything that we have created has already been used to support COVID surveillance and response. And I can absolutely assure you that a win against polio is a win for public health right across the world. We don't have to choose. We can do both. We can support the response to COVID while we end polio once and forever.
So, man, okay. So there you have it, fellow Rotarians and friends. The Rotary Foundation is really in the heart of the present response to the COVID-19 pandemic. We may not be giving the vaccines directly, but our infrastructure is being used and made available to all who want to distribute the vaccines. So once again, the last word I have here is bravo, Director Jesse Harman and Polio Coordinator PDG Mayan for this wonderful event. And thank you for staying on with us, Director Jesse, and answering these questions. I'm sure many have been enlightened. So on that note, with your kind permission, Gov Mayan, we now conclude our Q&A, and we now transfer it back to our excellent moderator, RRFC June.
Thank you very much. Okay. Well, it has been a very productive Q&A. Thank you very much, Assistant RRFC Penny, for that, again, superb handling. And thank you for the two ladies, RI Director Jesse and Polio Coordinator Mayan. I would like to say, in a situation like this, never give up, never give up, never give up. So even the boys have left us, you're still with us, the two of you, to answer all those difficult questions. I'm already tempted to text or to send a message to RI Director Jesse for the top question. Let Assistant RRFC Penny to answer it. Anyway, we will now hear from an equally hardworking, dynamic, and I would say the most senior regional leader involved in Rotary Foundation, for the closing remarks. You know, as they say, all is well that ends well. And we will now listen to EMGA Jess Nicdao from the Rotary Club of Western Pampanga, the first AKS from District 3790, EMGA Jess Nicdao. Jess, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you to my partner, RFC June, for the introduction or for being an excellent moderator. To our Rotary dignitaries, fellow Rotarians and friends, good evening. This is the second consecutive year that we had our Zone 10A Virtual Polio Summit, coming from a very successful and historical virtual summit last year. Today we heard from the key leaders of Rotary in the fight to eradicate polio. RI President Shekhar Mehta, the Rotary Foundation Trustees Chair John Germ, RI Director Jesse Harman, past RI Vice President Michael McGovern, past RI Director Robert Hall, past RI Director Rafi Garcia, and our immediate past District Governor Johnny Yu of District 3780. We heard from them why we must continue to fight to eradicate polio. Today, over 19 million people would have likewise been paralyzed by polio are walking, and 1.5 million people who would otherwise have died are alive. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? If we do not continue the fight within 10 years, polio could paralyze as many as 200,000 children each year. The global effort to eradicate polio has already saved more than $27 billion in healthcare costs since 1988 and expects to save $14 billion more by the year 2050. Polio eradication will be one of history's greatest public health achievements, with polio following smallpox to become only the second human disease eradicated on the face of this earth. And it all started here in the Philippines. Rotary members have contributed more than $2.1 billion and countless volunteer hours. The infrastructure we helped build to end polio is also being used to treat and prevent other diseases, including Ebola and COVID-19, and create lasting impact in other areas of public health. Polio eradication remains the #1 priority of our entire organization. We must work towards this end with every muscle and every fiber in our system. We must and we will finish the job. In behalf of the organizing committee, headed by our tireless End Polio Now coordinator, PDG Mean Solomon, our RRFC June Forcon, our host district 3780, headed by District Governor Ed Ayento, and the entire Zone 10A Regional Foundation team, I would like to sincerely thank all our speakers, including our 10 district governors, for their inspiring messages, stories, and reports that I am sure will create ripples to encourage more donations to the Polio Plus Fund. Most of all, I would like to thank you all for attending tonight's summit. Without your presence and support, this would not have been possible. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay po kayo, mabuhay ang Rotary.
Okay, thank you so much, EMGA Jess Nicdao. And as they say, all is well that ends well. We had a very productive afternoon and evening and morning. So it's now time to adjourn this Zone 10A Polio Summit 2021. It gives me pleasure to adjourn the Zone 10A Philippines Polio Summit 2021. And as mentioned by our EMGHS, thank you to all our speakers. most especially to all those who took time to attend this summit. And special mention to the host district together with the entire technical team, with special mention to past President Nico and Tope, as Mayan will call him Tope. And of course, to our End Polio Now coordinator who really worked hard to make this Polio Summit a huge success, EPNC, May and Solomon, and all your DPCs, District Polio Coordinators. Thank you. So we're supposed to have a picture taking again, a group photo op, but we can only do this if we have our videos on. So probably we can again do this. For those who, in Tagalog, they say, para sa mga matiyatiyaga, may nilaga, so that we will have a closing group photo opportunity. So Nico, again, we will leave it to you to do this. For a better appreciation, click your gallery view, turn on your videos, and keep on smiling because you don't know what page you are on. Okay, Nico, take over from here.
Hi everyone. Please turn on your videos again. We have 8 screens with their videos on. So just keep on smiling. Starting now. First screen. Okay. And second screen. Third screen. Then fourth screen. Fifth screen. Fifth screen and sixth screen. Seventh screen. Oops, sorry. Seventh screen. Please refrain from chatting. Seventh screen. Seventh screen. And finally, on to the last screen. Gobjun, maybe they want to take a photo with the end polios with the disclose sign. Just for the last one.
Okay. Again, I
Let's
did
do
not
the end polio, the disclose.
Okay, everybody. Okay, again, gallery view for a better appreciation.
Okay. Again, we'll start now with your disclose hand sign. Okay. First screen.
Okay. We're disclose.
And second screen. Third screen.
Shout out to my good friend PDG Leslie Salehudin from Malaysia.
Fourth screen.
And also, thank you, past RI Director Guillermo Tumangan for staying from start to finish. I also saw DGE Joan Kam from 3310 of Malaysia. And Shireen Anis from Bangladesh.
Last two. Seventh screen.
And of course, to all our Rotarians and Rotaractors from Zone 10A Philippines. I'm sure
onto the last screen.
Okay, we have learned a lot this evening, and we will bring them home. Actually, we're already home, so it's up to us now to really do our part. Again, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you to all. Congratulations, Zone 10A.
I will allow unmuting now.
Allow unmute.
Okay, you can now unmute.
Congrats, Gomean.
Congrats to us.
Congrats. Good night to all.
Thank you.
DPC Carla.
That's everyone.
Congrats, Zone 10A.
Thank you, everybody.
Congrats, everyone.
Congrats, everyone.
Congrats,
Have a
everyone.
good evening.
Congrats, Zone 10A.
Thank you po.
Thank you,
Ah,
thank you.
Nico, thank you, Nico, Tapen.
Thank you, Nico.
Congrats
Bye.
po.
Thank you, Johan.
Good din po.
Congratulations to all. Congratulations.
And Marjus, thank
Congrats.
you.
Thank you very much.
Congrats everyone. Congrats nga pala sa asawa ko.
Dami pa.
Shout out AJ Alan. Shout out kay Sian.
Mag-leave na ko.
Oh, congrats to us. Congrats, BM. Congrats to us.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Gobman.
Ay, congrats, Dobre, sa atin. Woo! Alam niyo, Gob Penny, alas 3 sa umaga yung sulat. Oh my God! Natulog na ako. Dobre, mamimiss mo yung reminders ko. Bye, BM.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you again. Thank you.